Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. Today I got an interesting case study that I'm hoping that you'll enjoy. It's literally going to save your customer probably $1,000, okay, by doing this simple procedure. In this case study, I'm going to be sharing with you how to clone a 2012 Volkswagen Mechatronic with the Autel IM608 Pro. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Curtis Harden. I'm an independent Autel diagnostic consultant. And what I specialize in is aligning people with the right diagnostic tool based on the discovery call, and then giving them the one-on-one training after I sell them the tool. So if you would like to get on the right track, or if you have the tool and you don't have anybody to consult you on how to use it properly, go to auteltech.co.za and book the diagnostic tool consultation. Alright, so this is what we're going to be learning today. The bench tool is used for this DSG Mechatronic clone procedure, what the DSG Mechatronic is and why it's not a plug and play, and how to judge a donor unit when the year or trim is different, and how to separate the original source files from the donor backup files, and lastly how to clone a 2012 Volkswagen CC TCM with the Autel IM608 Pro. The tools used in this case study are the following: the IM608 Pro, the original TCM and the donor TCM, your DB15 cable, and the G-Box 3. Okay, and to give you a background on this case study, the client reached out to me about a 2012 Volkswagen CC R-Line that needed a new Mechatronic. Okay. He said that the used Mechatronic came from another 2013 Volkswagen CC, but the vehicle had a different year and trim. So the problem was that this could not be treated like a simple part swap. Even if the Mechatronic physically fits, the module data, the transmission family, the part number, and the software path still have to line up. So before moving forward, the client wanted guidance on whether the used unit could be cloned with the Autel IM608 Pro. So what is the Mechatronic? The Mechatronic is like the control center inside the transmission. It combines the hydraulic control unit with the electronic transmission control module, and this means that it's responsible for clutch control, gear selection, hydraulic pressure, and communication with the vehicle. So in our case, we're not just swapping a valve body, a mechanical valve body. We're dealing with a program control unit that has to match the vehicle electronically. Okay. Now, when the client came to me, the first thing I always tell people is when you're dealing with European vehicles, the part numbers need to match. And when he told me that it was from a 2013 Volkswagen and we're dealing with a 2012, we might have some headaches down the road. If you don't know, when you're dealing with European vehicles, anytime you put on used modules, they need to be the same part number. I can't stress that enough. Okay, if there is a variation, you're going to have issues. You're going to waste a lot of time on subscriptions and people's money. All right. So what I did was I said, look, go back and have the owner give me a picture of both Mechatronics, and we can confirm if it's the same. And that's what we did. You can see on the target vehicle, the part number is exactly the same as the donor. So with this, I said, okay, you know what? Since we have the same part number, it's safe to go to the next step, which is the clone. And this is going to be the workflow that we're going to be using. Okay. So step number one, we're going to take it on the bench. We're going to read the flash, the internal EEPROM, and the external EEPROM. Okay. Then we're going to save all of those and label them as original files onto your IM608. Then we're going to put the donor one on the bench. We're going to back up the donor TCM and do the same sequence. Read the flash, the internal EEPROM, the external EEPROM. And then we're going to write the original files that we saved onto the donor TCM. And then we're going to install it on the vehicle and then scan for any error codes or do any necessary adaptations. Okay, so this is the workflow. And one thing that's very important, you guys, when you're doing these bench programming procedures is to have some sort of filing naming convention where you can identify the files, because we don't want you to, write the incorrect file. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you in the video, but this is something that you guys need to create some systematic way to label these things when you're saving these bin files. Okay, now step number 1, confirm the TCM and the bench wiring setup. Okay, so we're on the bench now, and we're going to go ahead and ID the vehicle. Okay, just going to fast forward this up a little bit, you guys, because there was a part where I think, okay, there's a European one. Okay, so then we're going to go to control unit. Okay, and then we're going to go to, I think it was emo adaptation, if I can recall correctly. Okay, here it's going to revert us back to the expert mode. Okay, so click expert selection. All right, and then from here we're going to go to emo parts. All right, so once we click that, we're going to locate the transmission control unit on the top right, and then we're going to select, in our case, the DQ250. All right, and this was on the Mechatronic, so whatever one you're working on, you'll select accordingly. Okay, so here it's giving us the procedure. All right, and what we're going to be using is the DB15 cable, and it's going to be connected to your G-box. We have your power source, and yeah, you just look at the diagram, and this is what my client was doing at this moment. So he was connecting everything up according to the diagram, your ground, your powers, and once that's done, we can go on to the next step, which is to read and save the original data. Okay, so once he's connected, we're going to go ahead and click escape. Okay, and then you can see here we're going to read the flash data. That's the first step. Okay, so it's going to be taking a moment to communicate, but once it communicates, you're going to start to see the progress bar of reading the flash data. Okay, so we're going to let this go all the way up to 100%. It's going to ask us, do you want to save the data? We're going to go ahead and click yes. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just deleting the default label that the Autel made, and I'm going to relabel it with my naming convention. Okay, so you can see here, once I paste it, I have original, and then you can see at the end it says flash. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that to the system, and I'm going to the next sequence, which is the middle one right here, read internal EEPROM. Okay, and then once I read the internal EEPROM, we're going to keep on following the same process. You're going to get the progress bar. Okay, it's going to go all the way to 100%. All right, you can see there. All right, do you want to save it? We're going to go ahead and click yes. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and paste the naming convention. All right, we're going to click OK. And we're going to do the last one, read external EEPROM. All right, and then you can get the progress bar. Okay, and then what you guys can see on the upper right, I have the battery illuminating. There was a problem with this customer's VCI. He's known about it, but that's all he had at the time. Okay, but you always want to make sure you have good voltage while you're on the bench. But that's why this thing's going off like that. There was a power issue with his VCI. Okay, so back to the thing. We're gonna go ahead and click save. All right, and then I'm gonna delete that, paste it again, and then you're gonna see I have it labeled as original. And then from here, we're gonna go on to the next procedure, which is to back up the donor TCM. So now we have the donor on the bench, and we're going to back it up. Okay, we're going to connect it accordingly. Once that's connected, we're going to go ahead and read the flash. All right, and once that gets to 100%, we're going to save it. All right, we're going to click yes. All right, and this one I'm going to label as the used flash. You can see there. I'm going to click save. I'm going to go right in the middle, read internal EEPROM. All right, follow the prompts. All right, make sure the connection's good, and then we're going to get the progress bar. This one took some time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click yes. All right, I'm going to delete it again. I'm going to paste my naming convention. All right, and then click save, and we're going to do the last one. Read external EEPROM. All right, and I don't know why my video is going like this. I think that was the external EEPROM. Yeah, that was external EEPROM. Okay, my bad. I think the video was skipped, but you guys get the point. You're going to go read the flash, read the internal, and read the external. Okay, and then now we're going to go on to the next step, which is write original data to the donor. Okay, so we're going to go click write flash data. Okay, and then you're going to see here all the files are labeled. Okay, you have the EEPROM, you have the flash, you have the internal, the external. Okay, so I'm going to go click the flash, and I'm going to select OK. And then we're going to go ahead and let it do its magic. We're going to get the progress bar. Should get the progress bar. There we go. Okay, so it was written successfully. We're going to click OK. All right, and we're going to do the same procedure for the, I think it was the internal. All right, you can see it there. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And we'll let it do its magic again. All right, so that's been written okay, and we're going to do the last one, which is the write external EEPROM. Okay, and it's this file up there. We're going to click OK. And then we're going to let it do its thing, and we'll get the confirmation, and we're going to click OK. Okay, so now that we've cloned it, we're going to go to the vehicle, and we're going to scan and verify any error codes. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. We're going to go ahead and ID the vehicle. Okay, so it's been ID'd, and then we're going to go ahead and run a diagnostics auto scan. All right, what I'm looking for here in this initial scan is fault codes in the TCM and in the immobilizer system. Okay, and luckily all the data was transferred and there's no fault codes. Okay, and I had the customer start the vehicle and the car started just fine. So as far as our concern, our job is done. Okay, so final takeaways. First thing, make sure the part numbers match. On used Volkswagen Mechatronic, confirm the transmission family part number and donor fitment before treating it like it's a usable replacement. Okay, very important. Number two, the original TCM is the clone source, so you want to read and save the original file, the flash, the internal, the external, before writing anything to the donor module. Okay, the donor TCM still gets backed up first, so that gives you a recovery file before the use module is overwritten with the vehicle specific original data. And then next is charge value-based pricing. Okay, the dealer charges for this whole procedure $1,000 to $2,500 for a new program TCM. You deliver the same outcome in a fraction of the time, so don't price the labor, price the result. Okay, if you're going to be saving your clients that much money, don't be afraid to charge for it. Okay, if you charge, you know, $400, $300, even $500, you're still adding a lot of value to the customer. Okay, I'm not saying rip them off, but you know, this procedure is one of those things where it has a high perceived value. Okay, so with that, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And yeah, if you'd like to get your tool, go to auteltech.co.za. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.